Hey everybody, I thought I'd give you a tour of the front yard here in Houston, Texas, zone 9A today. It's been really hot, so there's not a whole lot blooming, but I've got this beautiful Crepe Myrtle right here in the front of the house, looking good this year. And then on the right, I've got a little Jane Magnolia that I've trimmed up. I've worked hard to get the crown of this tree lifted so you can see this beautiful bark down here. And so I just picked a height to choose from. I just randomly picked where I wanted it to start and then trimmed it up. This is a Tulip Magnolia. It blooms just once a year. It has pink flowers that look like tulips, and then it immediately has next year's bud. So this little bud will bloom in about February, maybe March. And I've got a second magnolia. This was supposed to be the same variety, but it ended up being the wrong variety, but it was already planted when I figured it out. And so it's got a different form. You can see it's sort of bushier, and it has a maroon flower, something like a smaller tulip-shaped flower. But I trimmed it up as well. I thought that this is a really interesting tree, and it gives a little visual interest in just this giant blob. And then over here, I've got another Jane Magnolia. This one's been in the ground a long time, so it's about 20 feet tall now. And I've tried to expose the bottom of the tree as well, let some air and some light in, but it's also got really pretty, that pretty pale bark. So this little corner can be a real showstopper in early spring. And this huge rose is a Metabolis Rose. It's a little bit out of control right now. It's not flowering very much. Let's see, I've got a little bit, but this is sort of the, it's 100 degrees outside kind of rose. The plumbago, Cape plumbago, is really happy, and I've got a sweet potato vine tucked in here, and by the end of the summer that'll hang all the way down to the ground, and I'll have to keep trimming it back so it doesn't kill all the grass. But that just does really well in full sun here in Houston, and it'll bloom all summer long. I've got this really cool penta that I just love, with a really open habit on it. It is not as compact as other pentas. I don't know the variety of this, but I would definitely buy more of it if I could find it. It lasts in Houston. It's a perennial most years. This came back, and I've got another one sort of bookending it on the other end of this bed. I missed for the video all this wonderful Agapanthus was blooming, and I didn't get a video of it, but there's still a few little stragglers. Oh, one's got a little bee sitting in there. Still looking pretty. And I've got an oak leaf hydrangea back there that's really new. I got 2 flowers off of it this year. And then here's sort of the late bloomer section of the Agapanthus, which are so pretty. And I'm training this Salvia leucantha in the little garden cage to keep it from flopping over. And you can see it's in a little bit of distress there as well. And then this is a curcuma turmeric. It's called Siam Tulip, and it has really beautiful pink flowers. I had it planted here and then planted other things and didn't dig that out very well, so it's popping back up, and I'm sure we'll let it fight it out a little bit. And then this is one of the 3 Belinda's Dream roses that I've got in a row. This one and then in the middle, and then further down. Just sort of some repetition and continuity in the bed, but this is very, very new rose to the bed, just a couple of months old. And here is, I think, the best variety of purple salvia. This is this is Mystic Spires, and I really think it's the best one. I've grown several. I think that's the best one. It's about ready to get trimmed back. My rule of thumb is, if it has more than 3 flowers, I won't trim the spike off quite yet. But it's a really beautiful, beautiful color, beautiful flower, and it flowers for a long time. And I've got these awesome cone flowers. And then back there, I've got another little cage there, a support cage that's got a bee balm called Spilarton Mix that you can see where I've planted it. Actually, I imagine that cage was a lot bigger. And so it's not really going to be that helpful, but it looks cute back there. I've got a big empty gap here. I've got this little grass put in there, and I hope that grass will get big and bushy and provide a really nice backdrop for all this other, and so, because right now you're getting just a big view of just the side of my house, and it's not that attractive, and the hose. And then I gave a big haircut to this black and blue salvia. So it's starting to pop back up a little bit, but it got a big haircut this week. And then here's another, got all the cute little white zinnias, and more of this salvia. And then there was a teeny tiny lizard over here. I've lost him. And then there's a Belinda's Dream just getting ready to pop out right there. Here's that awesome Penta. I trimmed it back, so it's not really blooming yet. In another week it'll be spectacular. And then a little sort of more traditional mounded Penta down at the bottom that's doing really well. And it's got really pretty bicolor flowers on it. These ivy geraniums have done really well in the sun. I had to push them back towards the house to get them a little bit out of the sun, but they've just been so pretty. This side of the house I've got, sort of late in the day, but that's an African iris, and they do really well in Houston. Thank you. I've got some blue Cape Plumbago and some white in here as well. I was talking to my sister the other day. We decided that the blue is a much more vigorous grower and than the white. She's had that same experience. It's taken a long time to get anything really going back there. And then I've got a bunch of crinum lilies up here, a couple of different varieties. And then the last thing over here, this big mound is all shrimp plant. I've pinched it back so that it will be bushier and have more flowers. And you can see the place where I missed this one and didn't get it pinched back, so it's already blooming. Everything else will bloom a little later. And then I've got sort of again a bookended effect here with another Metabolis Rose that's just a year or two old there. That matches the one on the other end. I hope you guys have a great afternoon. Thanks for looking. Bye-bye.